how prettily all those ends have tidied up. I flipped it inside out on the needles to do any of the ends on the other side, and apart from the fact that my cuff is rather long, and that often happens when I'm working a prototype, I don't get it right first time, but I keep on going. So I might modify the length, but I will use this as a gauge swatch for the upper part of the mitten, so I can plan how much space I have for a motif. So this gives me the row gauge that I need if I'm planning to do a pattern on it. And whilst I'm doing neatening, I might as well tidy up these yarns at the edge of the mitten. And what I'm looking to do is to continue the sequence. So each one of these greens goes over to the next piece of red. So if I take this green yarn here over and into that red bump, it sort of keeps it in sequence with everything else. And I'm not going to do anything else there, because I think the more I work at it, the more it will show. So I'm going to come inside the layers and sneak across. So I've come out at the base of a green stitch, which I will then duplicate. So I'm just sewing an exact match of the stitch underneath, and then I'm going to take my tail as far as I conveniently can inside the knitting, and before I cut that off I'll stretch it out, and well, I think that looks okay. Might just see if I need to tension that a bit more. The duplicate stitch is holding it, so I'll just fiddle around with that till I've neatened it up a little more. And then I have this red loop, and each one of these goes across and forms what looks like a little double red bar, so I'm going to try and mimic that as well. Just coming out at the front for convenience there. Yeah, apart from a little extra slack in that green, it really hardly shows at all, and a little bit of close manipulation I can get rid of that excess. So I'm now going to take this through to the red side. And do the same thing on this side, a duplicate stitch. And then a long darn between the layers. And before I cut the ends on either of these, I'll just make sure there's no further adjustments I want to make. And I still want to play with that length of green there. But we're all ready now for the next stage, and what I need to do now is sketch a few designs for the back and the front of the mitten. I think I have an idea what sort of thumb I'm going to do, but we'll see. With a little extra manipulation, that's my beginning and end of my cuff.